every element of it was a risk, but it also was really exciting because it made me work harder to try to pull it off, because I knew that I was in dangerous territory of offending the wrong person, underselling a character, or just sucking at one of the 3 jobs I was doing here.
Jimmy O from JoBlo.com. Hey BJ, how are you, man?
I'm great. Cool choice of poster behind you. Fight Club.
Thank you.
Like the mainstream 90s classics. I feel you can't beat them.
Dude, this is a good flick you just made. Vengeance. I mean, at least you didn't you take on your feature film, directorial debut with something non-controversial. This is deadly serious material, man. Why was this the first feature? Because this is risky stuff.
That's why I chose it. I thought, you don't know if you'll get the chance again, and you might as well go for something as ballsy and distinct as you can attempt. So I knew making a movie called Vengeance, already a risky thing for a guy like me to make.
Yeah, no. Well, I think what's impressive is that you made a film that, in lesser hands, it could have easily been one side is a joke, the other side isn't. This is a very fair look at, I guess, the 2 sides, the divided sides of the country.
Yeah.
What's the challenge of that?
Well, the challenge, of course, is to go for play the character, not the joke. And I think, I had this amazing advantage in that I learned everything from working on The Office. I learned from Steve Carell and the writing staff. And so I learned, if you have a joke in which Phyllis, says something that makes you die laughing, but then Phyllis isn't really a reliable character anymore, you hurt your show. So really, I couldn't make any character just become one note or obvious in the movie. You might get a good laugh, but you lose your character. So I really had good training in getting deep into the character and mindset of everybody. I'm in West Texas, where this family just lost their daughter to an opiate overdose.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It's okay, it's not someone I was close to.
But you flew to Texas for it?
Yes, it was a girl I hooked up with a few times. Her family thought that we were more serious than I did.
I've heard so much about you.
I've heard, yeah. To me, it's all one thing, and I just saw Jordan Peele's movie Nope yesterday, and I've always been struck by how he puts so much comedy in his horror movies, and it all feels of a piece because real life is funny. And it only makes things feel more realistic, in fact, if you play the comedy right. So everything I do, I hope I'll always keep comedy alive in it, because to me, it just makes the story, ironically, more realistic.
I agree. And honestly, BJ, we gotta wrap, but really, it's a really terrific, really inventive movie. Congratulations, man.
Well, I know that you really care about movies, so that means a lot coming from you. Thank you.
Evelyn just didn't die, she was murdered.
What?
And the 2 of us are going to avenge her death.
So, as like a personal boundary, I don't avenge deaths.
Dude, Ty is such a great character for you. I mean, you bring this fucker to life.
Yeah.
How did you find this, and how did you approach this guy?
When you have really good writing, it's a lot easier to embody a character who is like Ty. And as you mentioned, it's not like a character I've been able to play before, so I've been itching to do something like this. He's got a lot of really sweet attributes, and I had to be honest, it's playing a person with a lot of joy and a lot of happiness is sometimes harder than, playing, a robotic killer, a mad dog kind of villain. It's a different vibration. It's a higher frequency.
Talk about working with BJ. Was it nice to work with a guy who's not only obviously a director, but an actor, producer, writer, all of this stuff? What was the benefit of that for you?
No, and working with BJ, I mean, he was a person that you could rely on, even though he was, he wrote this, produced this, acted in it and directed it, he still was yet a person you could rely on to come back to be our moral compass of the show. And, you know, with all his experience in this space, it was one of the biggest reasons why I got into this project. I'm so happy I did.
I am happy you did too. It's like, it's a really fantastic role. It's a really interesting role. And how do you go back from that? Like, what do you do next?
You know, I after this experience, I definitely, you know, out scanning for the next comedy I could do. I do love the element of the dark comedy that's in this film.
Oh my God, what if you were driving a real car with gas and stuff?
Dude, it was always a pleasure, man.
Always,
It was great always talking to you, man.
Great seeing you, bud. Great seeing you.
Cheers.
What if she was murdered?
This just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Looks like 2 pairs of prints, cowboy boots.
Calling out an APB to find 2 men wearing cowboy boots.
What happened to her? Why do you care so much? Why do you care so little?
We're so lucky in you, Emily.
I really don't know what you saw in me.
Art sees art. Texas has a full
You can't solve something like this with a 45. It's the breakdown of society is what it is.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's very wise.
You're gonna need a 12 gauge, a couple of ARs,
No.
Western automatic, and a sidearm for safety.
Exactly.
Where are you right now?
I'm in an Uber.